Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we're going to talk about Cybertruck in the UK and getting caught. But first, let's roll that title.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express. Jazz hands.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
Wanted
Wanted to talk a little bit about, of course, this article that we came across in Teslarati, which is about one of the first Cybertrucks spotted in the UK. The police decided it shouldn't be there. And they reached out and actually confiscated the Cybertruck and laid some charges against the owner.
Yes.
So, of course, Cybertruck is not sold anywhere except for North America currently. But that hasn't stopped some from buying it here in North America and shipping it over to Europe. There's been a number of them that have been registered across different European countries, and they've been driven on European roads. There's always been that discussion as to whether or not the Cybertruck would pass safety regulations in certain countries, and that particular question is why this particular Cybertruck got in trouble in the UK. So let's just bring up the article here.
So in the EU, there've been a couple of imports that have been successful. They didn't have a whole lot to do to become compliant, but remember that the UK is not a part of the EU at the moment.
That's true. That's true. At the moment, because they once were, and now they're out. So.
And there's talk they could come back.
Exactly. You never know. But there's this great photo of the vehicle. It looks like it's at some sort of variety type store, and
gas station.
Police behind him. Gas station. What's a Cybertruck doing at a gas station? That makes no sense.
Safest place to pull over. The first time I saw that photo, I thought it was a Model S, and then I saw it was an Audi.
So here's the detail. Manchester police stopped the Cybertruck on Thursday night, and the truck was illegal to drive in the UK due to those safety concerns because it's not registered to actually drive in the UK. The vehicle is registered and insured abroad, and it was confiscated. The driver, of course, was a UK resident, which was reported. And this particular driver, which had the driver operating the vehicle without insurance. So that's never a good thing if you're driving without insurance. You're going to get nailed for that regardless. The owner
and the Cybertruck is not an inconspicuous vehicle. So if you're doing something illegal,
it doesn't just blend in, does it?
Yeah. You're gonna get checked. So that's
and that one's not wrapped, right? So in all the stainless steel glory, right?
No,
it is.
I think it's
wrapped.
It's black.
Wrapped. Okay. Oh, black.
Yeah,
flat black. Yeah.
Looks like Cyber Beast graphic on the front.
He's got a Cyber Beast in red on the. Yeah, this is not blending into anything. So
and the light bar too.
Light bar across the top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy was looking for attention, and boy, did he get it.
And it's left-hand drive too. So
exactly.
So the problem here is, again, the UK is not part of the EU. So even though it's legal to register somewhere else and bring it around, and you can probably drive there from France, you can't really keep it there. Combined with the fact that he's a UK resident and the car is non-conforming to UK law, doesn't have an exemption certificate. Oh, and the whole thing about not having insurance. So he was caught up in that flashy vehicle was seen on the side of the road. Two, he was already part of the sting. I think it was called Operation Wolverine to catch insurance dodgers. There was just no way this was going to turn out well. And the whole concern about pedestrians, I get intuitively why you might think it's bad, but
well, so is tailpipe emissions.
But yes, we don't do the same test as the Europeans, and it may literally be too high for UK, but if they can register it in the rest of the EU, but again, they don't know that because nobody ever approached them and said, hey, can we sell that here? Or hey, can we get an exemption for 1,500 trucks because we're gonna do a special edition? And
I wonder if they were confiscating all the vehicles that were part of this Project Wolverine, because confiscation seems excessive. Just for having the vehicle not registered, you should be fined, ticketed. I understand that they weren't following the law, so there has to be some penalties. But confiscating it,
well,
wow,
there may be a greater problem there than what we would typically believe is going on. Like there may be. It may be rampant, and Wolverine is required to maybe push up the visibility that, you know what, you need insurance. And if you don't have insurance, your vehicle will be confiscated and it's going to be towed and you're going to have to pay for it to be released.
So you're saying that all the Wolverines are captured, or just
that's what I'm hoping. I'm saying that if they're treating the Cybertruck any differently or more harsh, that would be wrong.
Well, at the same time, though, they are treating it the same way as if you were to drive any off-road vehicle on the road, like a tractor or a steamroller that wasn't used in constructing the road. You would seize it, get it off the road, and hold it until they made it clean again.
If you happen to be watching from the UK and know, please put it in the comments.
What's the law over there?
We'd like to know.
If they have civil asset forfeiture, that would be even worse, right? That's just confiscating it and never giving it back.
There's that. The king wants your steamroller, though.
No, that doesn't that happen in the US? If you're running drugs, that
it doesn't even have to be drugs.
No, see, that's the worst part of it is if you have money on you, they can say, "Oh, we suspect you were going to use this to buy drugs, and we're going to take it." You could be driving to a car auction.
They don't accuse you. They accuse the money.
Right, and this is a horrible. I don't know. It's gone way too far. There are states that are passing laws that stop and block civil asset forfeiture, and there was one state where they started working with the feds, and the feds had a similar concept, and the state had passed a law blocking it. So instead, they gave the assets to the federal guys, and then the federal guys could sell it, and then the state was getting some kickback, and then now that just went to the Supreme Court. And the state Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. You're effectively nullifying our previous ruling to say this was illegal. So adding an extra step doesn't change whether it was wrong.
The state getting a kickback for forwarding it to another authority to sell. That does sound fishy.
It's very much. Yeah, this was horrible a wrongdoing, and I'm glad it's finally being fixed. And I hope it's not happening in the UK. Because it shouldn't happen anywhere.
Another thing with this Cybertruck is, of course, Tesla displayed the Cybertruck at a festival or two already.
It was on a trailer?
But it wasn't driven in. And even if it was driven, it was just on the private property. It wasn't on public streets. So there's no problem with Tesla doing it. This particular person, as Casey mentioned, you could have driven it in from France. It could have went through the channel on the train because the train takes both passengers and vehicles, for those that don't know. And that's how it could have got in the UK, although I guess it could have come by boat as well. And
I would hope the customs would seize it right at the dock.
Customs, you think customs would look at it a little strange, at least? Unless they say, well, we're going to the festival. And they said, okay, go ahead.
Right. They can't assume you're going to do something illegal with it. Maybe you're putting it in a private museum or whatever.
Yeah. But again, if it's not registered to drive in the UK, they should say, well, where's your truck to transport it? Because you can't drive it on public roads. So you're not getting from the dock to anywhere unless you put it on a flatbed. Yeah. So.
And it could be like they could be just like reciprocal, like we are between the states and between Canada and Mexico. All three of us can drive in each other's places as long as you're properly papered, both the vehicle and the humans, for a little while at least, the visa. And I think it's that way still with the UK and the EU. So say a Frenchman was coming on vacation on business, and they could come on in and not have a problem with that vehicle, most likely. But Englishman without insurance,
right,
in a car that's not allowed there, was a triple whammy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get, again, like Patrick said, this thing is an attention magnet. You're going to get checked, and then not to have insurance, like you're just asking for it. Like, there might have been maybe some leniency that, well, you're leaving, you're only visiting, you've come from France. Okay, fine, get out. You got to be out of here by tomorrow.
Yeah.
But to show up and not have insurance, okay, you're just.
I wonder if he was not able to insure it. Because the insurance company said, no, that's not legal. We can't insure that.
No, well, again, it wasn't registered in the UK. It was registered somewhere else in Europe. So
you should have insurance where it was legal to get it, or go to Lloyd's of London or something.
Yeah,
I see.
Get something on there. But that was the fourth one right there. Is that makes it more willful? Is the fact that he has it registered somewhere else, so they can then get you for trying to skirt the laws.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if Europe embraces it. We know they're not selling them there. They are being just transported there and then re-registered in those countries. And there's, as I said, I know of about half a dozen of them that have been registered and are driving on European roads. But it will be interesting to see as time progresses, does Tesla start to move the Cybertruck into markets that will accept it? Like we know Australia is another market that would love to have that type of a pickup there. And we know that there are many European customers that would like to get it. And if it's legal to drive on those roads and those streets in those countries, why would Tesla not sell some? Like, just ship them over to a distributor or to an existing Tesla network to allow them to be sold. Like, yeah, special order. It's got to come from the USA. You're going to pay extra anyways. We know all those things, and we're still willing to buy it. Then why not? It's great PR for the company. It's great PR for the brand. Why would you not do it?
Well, I think because they want to do a launch in each territory that they go to, and so they want to have vehicles there ready to go. They don't want to just say, "Oh yeah, you can get them," but there's all these hoops to go through because people are already willing to find ways to go through those hoops on their own. So I think that's the reason why.
Okay, so you're thinking they're waiting to do an official launch.
Yes.
Yeah, it's easy enough for the manufacturer to homologate a vehicle over than to try and get individuals to make each individual change. It's not like it's a hypercar or something where.
Well, I'm just saying now that they're kind of feeding the gray market because they're allowing people to buy them in the States. I'll line up some sort of transport to get them across the ocean, and then they're reselling them for a higher profit in those markets. Whereas if they, had some way to say, okay, you want a Cybertruck? Great. We'll order from Texas. Here's the form. You're at the Tesla location right now. Great. We fill this out electronically. We press the button. Boom. Your order is now on the way.
Mm-hmm. So I was looking for the document we saw how these people were able to do it before, and I came up with some issues that the current Cybertruck has a problem with, at least in the UK, let alone the EU, besides making those points happen. So you've got rear turn signals have to be amber. They're red.
Oh no!
Unsolvable.
It's not well, it's hard here. You have to get somebody making some amber turn signals or some gels. The charge port, I don't think is really that much of an issue. It will be for Tesla because Tesla can't sell it without the charge port being a CCS2.
Yeah.
But that's not to say somebody couldn't bring it in because of that. It doesn't have turn signals on the sides. It kind of does, doesn't it? They don't have repeater signals on Cybertruck?
Nope.
Oh. I thought they were above the camera like the rest of them. So that would be a problem, but it's not unsolvable. The weight is too high for standard license. That's fine. You're a trucker now.
Oh yeah, if you need a different level of licensing, that'll slow it down a little bit.
Definitely.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not unsolvable, and I think if there's a market, I think they'll look at those fixes.
It's not Wolverine that sees in the cars. It's the outside registration of a resident. So if you have a Chevy or Ford, it's happened repeatedly to UK residents with the abroad registration. Doesn't mean that Wolverine's not doing it, but.
If you're in the UK, let us know what you think about this. If you're in North America, what do you think as well? Put it in the comments. Like to see it. And I think we'll wrap it up there. Casey, any shoutouts?
Yeah. Catch us over at youtube.com/Casey Green or x.com/gcustom for Let's Chat with Casey and Friends on Sunday about 1:10 Eastern p.m. And then come back again on Monday, same time, same place here for the Tesla Life Express Edition 2, and then live for our show on Wednesday for the Tesla Life Live.
And I think you just glitched on the sound just for a moment over your show is on Sunday, correct?
Sundays at 1:10 p.m. Eastern.
Very good. Very good. Patrick.
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you next time, and together we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla life.